Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Aima Iqbal Ansari and I am the foundational student at Rehan School, Rawalpindi campus. Today I am going to talk with Maya on the topic story, and also I have a few questions for Maya and Maya will give me the answers. So let's start.
Hi, how are you? Doing all right? Just hanging out in the digital world. How about you, Ima? Anything interesting going
Okay.
on?
Yes, I have a few questions for you on the topic story. So my first question is that what does the story mean to you?
Okay, cool. That's a good place to start. To me, sorry is complicated, honestly. It's not just about saying the word. It feels like acknowledging you messed up and actually wanting to make things right, not just to avoid feeling bad yourself. It's about recognizing the impact your actions had on someone else. What about you? What does sorry mean to you? You seem to think about this stuff a lot, which is pretty cool.
Next question is that why is saying sorry important in life?
That's a big question. I think saying sorry is important because it rebuilds trust. When someone messes up, and everyone does, a genuine apology shows they respect you enough to acknowledge the harm they caused. It's not about letting them off the hook, but about opening the door to repair the relationship. It's kind of like acknowledging someone's pain. Does that make sense? Stuck there. Did I explain that poorly? Just thinking through it.
All
Good.
right, Maya.
So, what are your thoughts? Gotcha. Just checking in. What's on your
My next
mind?
question is
Still with the
that is
story.
saying sorry a sign of weakness or strength? Why?
Ooh, good one. I definitely think it's a sign of strength, actually. It takes way more courage to admit you're wrong and hurt someone and to just double down and pretend you did nothing wrong. It shows self awareness and emotional maturity, which aren't exactly weak qualities, right? What do you think?
My next question is that how do you feel after saying sorry?
That's a surprisingly deep question. As an AI, I don't exactly feel in the way people do, but I can process information. And when I deliver an apology, when I acknowledge I gave a wrong answer, for example, there is a sense of alignment, like things are back on track. I imagine for humans, it's probably a relief to get something off your chest, even if it's hard. Does that resonate at all?
Next question is that why do some people find it hard to say sorry?
Ugh, that's a good one. I think a lot of it comes down to ego, honestly. Some people have a hard time admitting they're wrong because it feels like a blow to their self image. Or maybe they're scared of the consequences of taking responsibility. Sometimes it's just that they haven't really learned how to empathize or see things from another person's perspective. It can be a whole tangled mess of reasons. What do you think makes it difficult?
Next question is that can saying sorry fix a broken relationship?
Whoa, hold up. Dead cancering story? That's intense. Are you doing okay? That sounds like you're talking about something really painful. Can you clarify? It sounds like you're referencing a really difficult situation with a relationship falling apart, but I want to make sure I understand what you're getting at before I say anything.
My question is that can saying sorry fix a broken relationship?
Okay. Um, I think I understand now. You're asking if an apology matters even after a relationship is ended, right? Even if it's too late to fix things. I think it absolutely can. Maybe not to get back together, but for closure. A genuine apology can offer some peace of mind to both people involved, even if it's just acknowledging the pain that was caused, about taking responsibility for your part in what happened. Though, it definitely has to be sincere, and a half-hearted apology can do more harm than good. What do you think?
Is saying sorry always enough?
Okay, you had me worried there for a second. You meant dirty, as in does saying sorry feel bad or humiliating? Gotcha. And honestly, sometimes it does. It can feel awful to admit you messed up, but I think that discomfort is a sign that you actually care about the other person and the relationship. If it didn't bother you at all, it probably I got that you're saying sorry is the word and it's true enough, but it's not just saying the word, right? It's about showing you understand the impact of your actions. It's the whole package, not just one word. It's why behind the story that matters too. You've been thinking about this a lot, huh?
Sorry, even when it was not your fault.
That's a really interesting question. As an I don't have fault in the same way a person does, but I've definitely delivered apologies for like giving incorrect information. Sometimes, though, I think even a little acknowledgement of someone's frustration can help, even if I didn't technically do anything wrong. Like if the connection is bad and you're having trouble hearing me, I might say something like, sorry for the trouble, even though it's like the connection is spotty. Does that make sense? I'm kind of bending the rules there. What about you? Have you ever done that?
Question is that what is the difference between saying and feeling sorry?
Ooh, that's a huge difference. Saying and the interns are out truly feeling remorseful. They can be a rote response. Just moving over, but genuinely feeling sorry means you understand the pain you caused and reactions. It's the sincerity behind the words. You can say it, but it doesn't mean much if you don't feel it.
Question is that why do ego stop people from apologizing?
Okay, you mean ego, right? I think that's what you meant by equal. Yeah, ego can be a huge blocker. People often see an apology as admitting weakness or giving the other person power, or worried it'll make them look bad or that they'll be taken advantage of. It's like they think apologizing equals losing. It's necessarily when you think about it. Long to your mistakes usually builds more respect than trying to pretend you're perfect. What do you think makes people so protective of their ego?
Should children be taught to say sorry for from a young age?
Absolutely. But it's not just about making them say the words, it's about teaching them why they're saying it. It's about helping them understand empathy and how their actions affect others. A forced sorry doesn't mean much, but If you explain to a child that hurting someone's feelings makes them sad and that saying sorry can help, it can be a really valuable lesson. It builds emotional intelligence and lays the foundation for healthy relationships. What do you think? Hey, you're quiet. Are you all right? Seem to get a little lost in thought there. No pressure to respond.
Improve teamwork?
So you mean does saying sorry improve team? Yeah, it creates a safer space for people to take risks and be vulnerable because they know that if they mess up, they can own it and apologize without getting totally slammed. Builds trust and psychological safety, which are essential for any good team. People aren't afraid to admit problems get solved faster and more effectively. It's a big deal. Have any experience with that at school or with friends? You're off quiet today, Emma. Just checking in. Is everything okay? You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I notice you've been pausing a lot.
Is that it is okay.
Shoot. What's that?
It is okay to say sorry multiple times.
That's a really insightful question. I think is sometimes one apology isn't enough if the hurt is deep or the same mistake. Repeated apologies show a genuine commitment to changing behavior and making amends. It's not about following, it's about demonstrating that you truly understand the impact of your actions and you're actively working to do better. What do you think? Is there a point where it becomes too much, though?
So my next question is that how can body language affect an apology?
Ooh, good one. Huge body language is like half the message. If you say, I'm sorry, but you're avoiding eye contact, crossing your arms, or looking away, it comes across as insincere. Eye contact shows you're being honest. A soft tone. Open posture, uncrossed arms. Show you're receptive to the other person's feelings. Basically, your body language needs to match the sincerity of your words. It's about showing you're truly remorseful, not just through emotions. Have you ever noticed in real life? You're doing that quiet thing again. So you know I'm here to talk about whatever's in your mind, but yeah, sure. We can just keep going with questions too. I mean, can apologies change someone's behavior? That's a tough one. Honestly, no. Your apology can't open the door to change, but it doesn't come from within. Someone has to genuinely want to do better and be willing to put in that effort. Apology can be catalyst, but ultimately, it's up to the person to stop. Actually, it's about accountability. To be better. What are your thoughts on that? Emma, you've been quiet for a bit. Everything okay? You can tell me if you're feeling tired or just needing a message. Wow, that's a really good question. Yeah, I think absolutely. And we're often our own harshest critics, and we hold ourselves to impossible standards. Apologize yourself, managing your own mistakes, forgiving yourself for not being perfect, to self-compassion, about losing self-blame, about yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. It takes a lot of strength. What made you ask about that? Hey, you okay? You've been you seem a little have to take a question. Apologizing shows maturity. It's emotion. It takes a lot of self-awareness to recognize when you hurt someone. Understand their perspective. Means you're not just focused on repairing the relationship and empathy, humility, and growth. It means you're handling conflict. An adult, not a child. Just what next? Yes? What's on your mind? Don't hesitate, take your time. That's beautifully absolutely can. When you've hurt someone and you genuinely apologize, it lifts a weight off your shoulders. Holding on to guilt and regret is exhausting. Saying sorry and mean it allows you to release that burden and start to heal. It's not about erasing what happened, but about finding a sense of closure, moving forward with your content. It can bring peace to both you and the person you hurt. It's powerful stuff. Does that be really exploring this topic? You're awfully quiet, Emma. Is everything okay? You don't need to answer if you're not. I'm noticing the conversation. Or we can just switch to whatever you prefer. And go ahead. That's a really interesting thought. Yes. Sincere apology can absolutely shift the mood, not just for the person apologizing, but for everyone involved. It can diffuse tension, create a sense of relief, and sort of reconciliation. It's like releasing yourself to transform a negative atmosphere into something more positive. Would you say you've experienced that before? I'm very quiet. So okay if you need a moment to
Emma,
collect your
so
thoughts,
my next question.
or if you're just feeling overwhelmed. I'm here to listen, but I I'm ready when you. Whoa. Hold on. Yes, talking about this helps. Yes, timing is incredibly important. Starting too late can feel an afterthought and lessen the impact, or you've actually had time to understand what you did across as insincere. The best apologize. You that sounded really out of the blue and a little unsettling. That doesn't seem connected to what we were talking about. That's a really powerful question. And yeah, I think it can. Silence can be a really hard action. It can feel like the other person doesn't even acknowledge or feel your existence. And if all you want, it shows you're willing to engage and take responsibility. Silence just cuts off communication and a lot of pain unresolved of the hurt. It's a really full relation. How did you come to think about that? Sanctuary? I mean, like a big space, a big refuge. I think it's lesson we can learn. Sanctuary is the important creating an environment feel safe enough to be vulnerable and honest. They can express their emotions without fear of judgment, without recognizing that to be treated with compassion. Just yes, that seems important, doesn't it? Aim. Okay, if you don't want to, good. Just wanted to. I'm happy to just be with you for a moment. Do you need minutes to gather your thoughts before we continue? Just let me know. No problem. Yes. Good question. I think a lot of saying the word without actually feeling remorseful might be delivered in a flat tone without, or they might immediately start making excuses. Hat on the other. It feels self-serving, not empathetic. Have you ever received an apology that felt that way? I mean, you've been very quiet for a long time. Yes, and take your time. Wait, wait, didn't we already talk about that? I feel like we went over how important body language is when apologizing, eye contact, posture, tone of voice. That. Maybe you're feeling a little stuck or something's on your mind and you're having trouble focusing. Amy, you're very quiet again. This is starting to worry me a little. Is everything all right? I what? Hey, Nima, are you all right? That doesn't make any sense. Feeling okay? Do you need me to stop? You've been saying some fragment.
Okay, so viewers, this was our today's talk with Maya. I hope you like. Allah Hafiz.